Hey, welcome to the Kind of Sleepy podcast. I'm the King of R&B knowledge. In case y'all was wondering, I'm the King of R&B. And who do I have sitting to my left?
Today, I'm trying to figure out who I am today.
Who are you today?
Ebony / Bosslady / Ingrid / Kiyoki, if you know me well enough.
You just using all your names, huh?
Yeah, I felt like it today.
All right, well, you know, whatever floats your boat, find your lost remote. Not mad. And who do I have sitting across from me?
It's your boy B-Wood. He's back
Hey.
again.
Welcome back. I told you, man, we're just gonna put your name on the chair, man.
Hey man, I'm ready. I think I've proven myself worthy.
Natty, he has a client right now, and we kind of running late today, so we're just gonna go and jump in here and do this thing. Miss EP right now, she got her tonsils taken out.
Oh.
Yeah, so you know she kind of down for the count right now.
But she's gonna come back strong.
She be back. She gonna come back wearing a 4.5 like Jordan. What's the jokes about over here?
Because I almost said something, but I'm going to keep it to myself.
What? You know what? It ain't nothing that either I ain't heard before and or said before or she ain't said before.
I'm just, yeah.
All right, we're going to leave it alone. We're going to jump right in. So first of all, I want to ask y'all, who do y'all think is the king of R&B? And if y'all say that child molester up in Chicago, I'm flipping every table over and walking out.
Just period or right
Period. Well, let's period and then right now.
now? I don't know.
Here's one thing I've noticed. Everybody's been saying like Michael Jackson.
No.
And people are trying to differentiate between R&B and pop by saying that. Nobody brought up Luther.
That's who I was gonna say.
I'm saying. That's why I was like,
That is exactly who I was gonna say.
But then you got to think between Luther and Marvin Gaye and Teddy P. I can't. You talking about just period? I can't really say.
And then and the thing is, now here's what's funny. You know, people often put like if we get deep down into the weeds. I was talking to somebody. They were saying that Bobby Brown, quite literally, is the king of R&B. If you think about it, I was like, okay, well, break it down to me. They was like, when Bobby Brown dropped, you know, he dropped and sold 20 mil.
Listen, Bobby is that man.
Bobby is that dude.
Hey, Bobby is now.
Cause every little step I take, that come on right now. I'm still gonna lose my mind.
Any song Bobby has comes on, I'm in it.
I've made the argument that Thug Love with him and Ja Rule may quite possibly be the best R&B hip hop duo of all time, next to Mary J. Blige and Method Man.
Yeah. Now I'll say another name who I like personally as far as R&B, might not be on anybody else's as far as right now, but I can turn on any song, any album that Tank has done, and I'm not just saying it because he's my friend. I can turn on any album he's done and just let it play.
I like Tank.
I like him, especially this last album.
It's like, okay, so who do you think? Who do you have to give it to?
Man, I was actually gonna say Luther. Like you can't beat Luther.
I don't think there's
Big
a
Luther,
voice.
skinny Luther. It don't matter.
Big Luther with the curl, Big Luther without the curl. You know, you can't beat him. Now, it's a couple of guys that I like, but I wouldn't put them in king status. Like I'm upset that Governor never came out with another album. You know, that Son of Pain album still to this day goes hard. John Legend, surprisingly, hadn't been in the conversation a lot, and
he's more of a crossover.
I can see that, and I can see him being put into the pop type thing. But I was listening
in general.
Yeah, I was listening to Once Again on the way here, that album. I mean, that album, around this time every year, like I turn that album on and just go back in time. You know, that's what I personally do, like every time around this time of year. And it's like I've never listened to a bad John Legend album.
Right. Yeah. I could put on a song right now. You probably never even heard of this person. I don't understand why he hadn't done more. It's one of my favorite songs. I could play it and you'd be like, "Who is that?" And you'll find it put it on your playlist. But I'm pretty sure you've probably never even heard this song.
Who? Oh Lord, she about to go deep down into her Tidal subscription. Oh, you know they had Tidal for like 3 months for 99 cents.
Oh, really?
I immediately jumped on it.
Why did I miss that?
I like, you know what, and I'm finding that I like Tidal way better than I like Apple Music and Spotify. I'm going to keep my Spotify because my Spotify is connected to my Hulu. But I'm really thinking about canceling my Apple Music. But then the thing is, if I cancel my Apple Music, I get rid of my playlist. And I don't want to do that. And I can't justify paying $30 a month for all three of them.
I can understand that. I don't even listen to music anymore, to be honest with you.
You're a DJ. How do you not listen to music?
I can't, man. It's like you play the same things all the time. It's like
I don't listen to the radio.
I can't listen to the radio. The radio is insufferable. But
now I like titles. Now I do like Spotify's like new music playlists.
right.
Like I'll just put like when I do a lot of driving, of course, and when I put those on, I just go, hey, hey.
We need to turn the lights down. Trying to create a mood.
That's a whole
Listen
movie.
to the words now.
You know we got an aux cord, right? Does your phone have an auxiliary?
Not without the other little thing.
Oh, you got one of them fancy iPhones. Oh, you got an Android like that? Oh. Oh my. Oh my. Who is this? You over here having a whole moment. Like you having a whole moment over here. Like I'm trying to figure out like what's going on with you.
Because this is my shit.
Y'all really should see what's happening right
Like
now.
Bosslady is having a whole
Like she is
moment.
like eyes closed, just the hand waving, just
Who is this?
zoning.
Who's this young man?
Pooh Bear.
I know. I've heard of Pooh Bear.
Well, most people haven't.
I remember he had a song back when I was in the army in Fayetteville. Like it had heavy rotation in Fayetteville. I remember Pooh Bear. He's got a couple good tracks.
But most people have no idea who he
And
is.
he's North Carolina based, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I like him.
I do too.
Okay. I see. She had a whole moment over here.
Let me just throw out two more names.
Okay.
One, my man, King of the Struggle Beard, Anthony Hamilton,
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
who is now.
Now that's that soul music.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
like, when that comes on, it just touches your soul. Like it just reaches down in you and pause. But
That nigga sang Charlene, and I started apologizing for shit I ain't even
exactly,
do. Charlene, if
Made-
you're listening,
made you feel something.
I'm
like,
trying
ooh,
to tell you.
like ooh wee.
That beard has the power of 10,000 slaves. I feel like
No,
if he
I
shaved
hate
it, he
you
wouldn't be able to sing no more.
So bad. I hate you so bad.
I
right
feel
now.
like if he shaved
But
that,
he
like
he did shave it though.
But the level of struggle in that beard is the same level of
That-
struggle
that
you
gives
hear in
him
his
his- that
voice.
gives him
it's
his-
like
his
it's like
intensity.
Samson.
Right.
Right.
If he shaves his beard, like he'll sound like me
That's
singing.
just like that time, when Mary J was happy. Her music wasn't the same.
Her music sucked.
when she was happy.
I be like the
Now
thing
her
is,
music is back to Mary.
when she was making like that happy music, like I said, man, I really wish Casey would just come through and give her a 2-piece. Like I felt so bad for saying that. I know that's
Right,
not
but-
politically correct,
but
and
it
I
is.
really don't
Comments on
believe
the
in domestic
Honda
violence.
CD podcast. Do
But
not
I really felt I was like, man, if Casey just give her just one good 2-piece, like I swear to God, this album will be better. Like I didn't know what to, I
Jesus.
didn't.
I
I
hate
felt
you.
bad about it, but
let me give you one more quick name.
Okay.
And this one I'm coming out of the box. I'm thinking out of left field.
All right.
Somebody who needs to put who I always thought needed to put out another album was Jamie Foxx.
yeah.
You know what?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not mad at that.
I'm not mad at that either.
I'm gonna just say that right now. I know that's some people probably out there hating on it, but that album, there were some bangers on it.
When Jamie Foxx did that Luther medley in that comedy special, when Jamie sat down at the piano, I was like, okay, I knew he could play the piano. I knew he could sing because I remember the Old and Living Color sketch where he did Lately by Jodeci.
Right.
And when he started singing, "Let me hold you tight," I was like, okay, you better get it, Jamie. He
I
started
can agree
doing
with
it. I almost threw my drawers
Hey,
at the
hey,
TV. I was like, pause,
hey,
pause.
hey.
Pause.
I almost threw my
No,
drawers.
fuck pause. Stop.
But let me just tell you, like Unpredictable comes on,
Dude.
and that
Yeah.
wow.
Now he has this old video clip where he says that Kanye taught him how to really make songs like that, like radio songs.
Well, then I might have to cancel it.
Well, no, here's why. But here's what it was. It said when they made that she said she wants some Marvin Gaye slow jams,
Yep.
Luther Vandross. He said he went in the booth and he was trying to do all these runs. She say she wants some all that R&B
Right.
stuff he does.
Right.
But he was like, no, don't do that. Just sing the words.
Right.
And you can see the difference between, because that was his second album.
Right.
You can see the difference between that first album where it was all, sounding like 90s R&B, a whole lot of runs, vocal acrobatics, and then Unpredictable, you like, okay, he got it. He learned how to make a hook.
Right.
This is gonna be a shameless plug here. Shout out to my big bro Sebastian Cole, who was on tour with Tamia and opened up for Tamia. Now, here's another thing I noticed. So we talked about who's the king of R&B. who's the queen of R&B? I want to say Whitney. I immediately want to give it to Whitney, but then you got Beyonce. But the thing is that argument can be made that Whitney is to R&B what Michael is to pop. You know how we was like, Bobby Brown is R&B, Michael's the king of pop. I think Beyonce is more pop than R&B.
Man, there's so many names I could throw out there.
Well,
first of all, I'm gonna just say the queen of R&B is Aretha.
Okay. But the thing is that argument has been made about Marvin Gaye. Like, that is she soul or is she R&B?
I mean, if we're gonna sit here,
we can split hairs.
Yeah, we can sit here and have that. That's a whole nother argument.
Patti LaBelle got a concert coming up too here in Charlotte.
We are on the same wavelength because I was just about to say Patti LaBelle or somebody who's always done it for me is Anita Baker.
Okay.
I'm gonna just leave that there because.
What about Gladys?
Gladys, I just never.
I looked at that old In Living Color episode, not In Living Color, a Different World episode when Whitley and Jaleesa and somebody else was trying to be Gladys Knight's backup singers, and I just thought it was so funny.
Yeah,
how like that was like now people be competing to be like Lil Pump's backup singers. They was in college, something like that. You know what I'm saying? I just thought that was so funny back then that good music like that was being listened to by young folks.
Backup singers?
You never heard of Lil Pump, Lil Zane, Gucci Gang.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Do they even have backup? Never mind.
Anyway,
moving on.
So I see you looking like you want to kind of jump in and hit me over the head with somebody that I ain't thought about.
I mean, me personally, I like vocally.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Ashanti.
No. Microphone caresser. Jill Scott.
Okay, look, can we put a pin in that right quick? How did you feel about the Jill Scott?
I thought it was fantastic. So I don't understand what the problem was.
And we're on the same page. All right, let's continue.
I love Jennifer Hudson's voice.
I do too. I like fat Jennifer. I don't like skinny Jennifer.
Splitting hairs again.
Just like Big Luther, Little Luther.
Right.
That's where you're at with it. What about Adele?
Love Adele.
I love Adele's voice. I think she's got those same kind of pipes like Aretha had when it comes to like the strength of her voice. Mm-hmm. And so I definitely like Adele. So,
Let me give you one more.
But but to be clear though, we're pretty clear that Jacquees is not the king of R&B. I would have to give that to Chris Brown if we're talking contemporary, just to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just makes catchy songs. Well, I mean, he's okay.
He steals catchy songs.
Makes, however it comes across. I like him.
I will admit that his version of Trippin' was better than LMA's, though, honestly, to me. I felt like his voice was better suited for that song. Mm-hmm. That's just me, though. But I hated his rendition of Booed Up, though. So, yeah, I guess it was 1-1 there. Anyway, moving right along. Let's jump into our topics for today. Target Teresa. This is one of those things that let me know that God loves me.
He knows my heart,
and he just does not let me have certain things happen to me. So Target Teresa is this white woman who recently decided to confront some black women in Tennessee while shopping at Target, and they were apparently talking about Eartha Kitt. And Boomerang and all that. And she accused them of talking about lewd acts, sex in public. And then once they told her to go on about her business, she said that they were trained liars and they were made for the court system. Have no idea what that even means. And then, once they told the security to like get her away from them, she tried to play victim and all that kind of stuff.
Which is what they do.
To my white friends, if you see one of your fellow Caucasian folks bothering black people that are minding their own black ass business, can y'all please start telling them to leave us the hell alone? Because clearly when we do it, like, we either go to jail or it doesn't get listened to. So maybe if y'all start telling Caucasian folks to leave us the hell alone, like with Barbecue Becky. When the white lady showed up and told her to leave them alone, she kind of paid attention.
That's all I can say. whatever higher being you believe in knows my heart and does not let me get into those type of situations, because it would have gone a completely different way.
And you know what? I firmly believe that.
A completely different way, and probably not to the level you probably think at first. I probably would have got so close to her, she would have touched me, and then that would have given me what I needed to beat the shit out of her.
Man,
Well, all right. Well, all right. I mean, that
I just want to go 1 week without having one of these stories.
I would like to as well.
It just seems
I'd like to go 1 month without having a unarmed black person shot by police, or a person that is armed be shot in the back.
That's a whole nother. You asking for a lot.
Yeah, I really am.
I'm just trying to get white
1
people
week.
to leave us alone for a week.
Just leave us the fuck alone.
I mean, if it.
Wait. We got to throw out a disclaimer. Not all white people.
Not all white.
Not
people.
all white people.
Continue.
Yeah, okay. I guess the point of the matter is that, you know, two people trying to have a conversation. My parents always told me to mind my own damn business. If they are not addressing you directly, then why are you jumping in the middle of somebody else's conversation?
Right.
You know, especially when it has nothing, they're not talking about you, to you, around, like it has nothing to do with you. What business do you have butting in somebody else? That's just impolite right there. That's the way that I was raised.
Right.
You know, that's just, you know, if they're not speaking to you, or you have not been, then what been addressed? What makes you think that you have free license to see your way into someone else's conversation?
I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to make it a point that whenever something like this happens to me, because I feel like it's only a matter of time before God does allow it to happen to me, I'm going to channel the spirit of Kevin Hart. And I'm going to look at them. I'm going to look at whoever I'm with. I'm going to be like, it's about to go down. And I'm going to look at them and say, my mama told me to tell you to mind your damn motherfucking business, bitch.
Oh, stupid ass bitch.
Oh, 2 + 2, not knowing ass bitch. Long titty, no nipple having bitch. Like that's how it's gonna be. Like that's gonna be my life at that very moment. Like that's gonna be me. And I can't wait. I legitimately can't wait for that moment, because I'm going to take my small 5'0" frame and I'm going to muster up all the strength and energy of Kevin Hart's rich 5'0" frame and let them have it. I cannot wait.
You know, it just goes to show that, you know, when you are of a certain skin color, you have an unlimited amount of privilege, or you feel, certain people, not all people, but certain people feel an unlimited amount of privilege, which I would love to know what that feels like.
It's
just for a day.
Just for a day.
It's a level of entitlement that I can't even imagine.
Did you see the video about on the subway in New York with the little white lady kept trying to beat the little Asian lady child up? This morning, like yesterday.
I didn't see that.
Oh.
I've been trying to get my life together and spend less time on social media arguing with people about Donald Trump's raggedy ass. So
yeah, well, you gotta
that.
see that. You gotta check that out.
I'm definitely looking for that, because we're gonna talk about that Sunday.
Yes, please.
So of course, okay. So today's episode, we have the stories in no kind of order. We try to keep things running smoothly here, but we're gonna switch gears completely right now. Cardi B and Offset.
Oh Lord.
Cardi B and Offset are broken up. And Media Takeout reported shortly after Cardi, posted her social media video saying that, that they just kind of, I guess, grew out of love.
Already?
Well, I mean, I think part of it was that allegedly he got caught trying to have a threesome with Cuban Doll and Cash Doll, I think.
Right, I can understand that, but the follow
wait, understand it. Wait, you can
love-
understand wanting to have a threesome with them too, because I can kind of understand that as a man too.
No. I'm saying I can understand the problem and issue with that.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
talking about the falling out of love part.
Oh,
Because even
okay.
if someone does something to you and you end the relationship, it doesn't mean that you don't love them anymore.
She said that she said she'll always have love for him, and she will always love him as the father of her child, and they do good business together, and they'll continue doing that. But she said, they're just not gonna be together. Now, Media Takeout shortly thereafter posted that since they have no prenup, Cardi has to pay Offset $50 million.
That doesn't even.
I said that doesn't make
sense.
sense because Cardi's in a 360 deal, which means her label is getting a chunk off everything she does. That Fashion Nova deal, her record sales, her concerts, everything.
That man make his own money.
And as a part, but the thing is, the Migos, he has to split it 3 ways.
Right. Which again, I don't understand.
Which I still think he's making a lot of money.
I still don't understand. Even if you got money and the person you get ready to marry got money, why wouldn't you still do? Let me find. Let me tell you something.
I think you know what. Let me ask you a question. Now, boss lady, I'm not counting your pockets.
Okay.
But I feel like anybody you marry, you would need them to sign a prenup.
Yeah, they have to be.
First of all, they have to be a pretty special individual.
That part first. But they'd have to, even if they had more money, and I don't have no money. I don't know who told you that lie. But even if they made more than I still would want to do that. Because what you came in with and what I came in with.
I don't know if you noticed her nigga stay away ring that she wearing right now.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the light over here.
I know. She come in here blinging.
Right.
Pulling up in a
You just gonna agree?
pulling
with
up in a
I'm
luxury.
just going to agree with it. At least on this part.
She pulled up in a luxury truck playing the 2018 Keith Sweat, a.k.a. Drake.
Really?
You know what I'm saying?
Really? Like I was saying.
Got on some clean Uggs. Like we ain't noticed that.
Man.
Even if I was to marry someone who had way more than I still would initiate a prenup. Like that, it just makes everything clean.
I will say that you are a rare breed. But we've already known that. We've already talked about that. I mean, we know that.
Well, like I said, even before, you can ask any man that I've ever been in a relationship with. I've never been that one that let a man take care of me or,
I feel like guys have to fight
out.
you to take care of you.
Yeah. Yep.
So
allow me to offer the Fuego take of the day.
So the Fuego take of the day.
We need a sounder for that.
We need a soundbite for real. We got to get a soundboard, bro.
First of all, good for Offset. Get your money.
Yes. Turnabout is fair play in this bitch.
Nah, but I say
that was you was a meninist for a second.
Look, I'm kind of shrinking up over here. Boss lady looking at me with the side eye.
That was meninism.
No, that was straight out.
Yeah, I might catch a 2-piece walking out. Just watch my back.
Hey man, ain't gonna be no more laying of the hands at the podcast studio. We've already had to deal with that once here. Okay, ain't no more woman on man violence. We're not dealing with that no more here. All right?
No, but I say that to say that there is a bigger issue that needs to be addressed around how situations like this are resolved through the legal system. In terms of child support, alimony, there needs to be a full-scale reform, and not just and I say good for Offset because forever, and I understand the argument, but forever, men have been taken advantage of, and I know that there are some men that have been taken advantage of by the system. Now,
correct.
I understand why that is. I understand kind of all the history behind it. This is kind of the turnabout. That in the hopes that it would drive some discussion to reform the laws and make separations a little bit more equitable on both sides.
Now, Mary J's husband, Kendu, I think he's an example of an abuse of the system.
That fool wanted her to pay his child support for his kids to his baby mama.
Get your nigga ass up and get a job.
What?
Get your nigga ass up and get a job.
But that's just what I'm saying. Even,
right.
But especially for a couple where you have someone, like take Tiger Woods and his ex-wife. You are an idiot. You know how much you're worth. And I'm not knocking the chick, but you were a nanny. They can say au pair if they choose. But she was a nanny, okay? And you're worth all of this and she's got this. How could you not sign a prenup?
Love makes you do some strange things.
Excuse my language. Fuck love.
Look,
You knew who you were, Tiger. You knew, and I'm not even trying to be funny, but Tiger, you knew that 9 times out of 10 you were gonna cheat. You have pussy thrown at you every single day, and
Hold
realistically,
on,
it's hard to
put a
turn it
pin in
down.
that right quick.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Let's put a pin in that right quick. Because Tiger Woods was out here smashing all kind of folk and celebrities, but he was smashing like the porn stars on the back of the box doing the nasty thing. He was not smashing the feature entertainer on the front of the box.
He was messing with Perkins waitresses. Come on.
Even still, though, what I'm saying is,
He was like, "Oh, that
like
Denny's waitress is hot."
A person like that, and I see that through my friends who that happens to, they have ass thrown at them every day. Eventually, you're gonna give in. So, and if you know that about yourself, you knew that before you married her. Why would you not?
Well, Tiger Woods. So first of all, Tiger Woods is cablation, because black men don't cheat. Number one, let's go on and get that out there. Secondly,
You just
Offset.
got through talking about Offset, and you just came out your mouth and said they
Offset
don't
ain't
cheat.
black. He Dominican.
Facts.
So speaking of Offset and his Dominican ass cheating, so one of the people that Offset allegedly cheated with his Dominican self. Stop looking at me like that, boss. I'm getting nervous. One of the women that Offset allegedly cheated with was this young lady. I guess she's a Instagram model or something. Summer Bunny.
Yeah.
Well, so, oh no, Summer Bunny is the woman that was supposed to have the threesome with Cuban Doll and him. She was crying and apologizing on TMZ, talking about she didn't know that their marriage was that serious. Now, I'm of the impression that Summer Bunny, being the the very relentless, sometimes black men don't cheat. All we want to do really is have Bible study and love our black queen.
Exactly.
And so this queen had been led by the wayside and had been led to a wayward activity, enticing this Dominican man to cheat on his Puerto Rican queen.
Adam and Eve.
'Cause I think that Cardi's Puerto Rican or Dominican or one of them Ecans. So she had a Cuban woman that she had finessed as well into causing this man to cheat on his queen. And so she apologized. So her name is no longer Summer Bunny, it's Winter Bird, because she a bird for this. She wanted some attention.
I hate y'all.
And so she was crying.
No, that was the let me get on here and find me someone else now. Bring some attention to myself.
She's a pretty girl, but she a bird. Speaking of birds, who, you know what, this heifer here, I'm so tired of her.
Oh, God.
She is a dumpster fire filled with trash pandas. Lena Dunham. I'm so sick of her ass. So Harold Perrineau, who you guys, he's been an actor, one of the most amazing actors I've ever seen. Right now he's currently on Star, playing the father of one of the main characters. He's playing, and his character on there is gay and was in a secret relationship with Miss Lawrence, who was like a recurring cast member on Real Housewives of Atlanta, who's now a hairdresser and like the occasional manager of the group on Star. I like Star. So his daughter, Harold Perrineau's daughter, Aurora Perrineau, came out last year and said that she'd been, as part of the whole Me Too movement, that she'd been sexually assaulted. And Lena Dunham, with her trash ass, basically came out and said she didn't believe her and this and the third, and said that she had inside information that that's not how it went down. Well, long story short, Lena Dunham sent out this long apology that, in the Hollywood Reporters, she was a guest editor for the Hollywood Reporters Women in Entertainment issue, and she had this open letter where she basically admitted that she lied about having this inside information, and she apologized to Aurora Perrineau. Here's the thing. Had Beyonce done something like this, had Tiffany Haddish done something like this, had any other black woman in Hollywood done something like this, they would have been canceled completely. Had any other black woman in Hollywood done half of the things that Lena Dunham's ridiculously trash ass has done, like when she said that she felt as though she was using her status, she felt like OBJ was looking down on her because he didn't want to, he looked at her like he didn't want to fuck her. Well, first of all, you don't know if OBJ even likes women. Like, that whole thing right there. And I'm not saying that to fuel the rumors about OBJ. I'm just saying that for you to feel drag this man's name through the mud because of how you felt, because your self-esteem is low.
Right.
Had any black woman in Hollywood done that, they would not still be getting work. How the fuck is Lena Dunham still getting work? I really would like to know this.
Is she still getting work?
She got something on somebody. I don't know. Something.
She got naked pictures of somebody in Hollywood.
But she's so brave for being out there.
For being a fucking trash panda?
Well, look,
I'm sorry. Like, I really don't. Like, my thing is, I know I'm getting a little emotional right now, but I really cannot stand Lena Dunham. And there's so many other deserving sisters out there who are doing their thing.
So, I think it's because we build these pedestals and these mantles to celebrities, and I think she kind of got that mantle of, oh, she's not your typical Hollywood starlet, she's out there showing her body, and she's got this show on HBO, which really wasn't all that great. I mean, it was all right, but it wasn't all that, especially after season 1. But I think they she's kind of been put in that mold of, oh, she's, kind of this outside the box. And so now it's like, okay, well, she's got a level of prestige, let's just put a word to it, about her in the industry. And, it's still no excuse, she is still trash, for what she did. And, things like this just continue to happen.
I really won't smoke with Lena Dunham.
Like, I want to smoke with white women. Period.
Wait, bro. Wait. All of them?
All of them. I want smoke.
All of them?
Oh, shit.
Every last one of them.
Damn. Like, let's
we can go in that later.
Let's talk about that later. Ooh, Lord. All the white women. All the white women's.
All of it.
Speaking of trash people, Gavin McInnes, the guy who founded the Proud Boys, which is basically the Klan fraternity, who are also Republicans. Bunch of frat boys who chose not to wear the hoods of their grandfathers. That all vote Republican as a block. They said he believes that punching a Nazi should be a hate crime. Here's his logic. Okay, so this is according to Dead State. He says that the word Nazi is an epithet just like the word faggot. So if you assault someone and call them a Nazi in the process, that's just like assaulting someone you think is gay and calling them the F word, which according to some would constitute a hate crime. He then asked, how is Nazi not as bad as faggot? Like, say you beat up a guy and you were screaming Nazi as you beat him up. Because if you beat up a gay guy and you say the F word, it's seen as homophobic because he's not that word. He's a homosexual. He's not an F word, so it's derogatory. So if you're getting beat up and someone says Nazi, you're obviously not a Nazi. That's not necessarily true. Then they're using a derogatory word and they're using ideology to beat you up to justify it. So it sounds like the same thing to me. Punch a Nazi should be a hate crime.
If he don't sit his ignorant... Sit down. You're doing too much.
This is what happens when you make people think their opinions matter. What's up?
So if homosexual is acceptable and faggot is not, what is acceptable? If Nazi is offensive and unacceptable, what description or what descriptive word is acceptable?
Here's, I don't know, racist, white nationalist. I don't know.
I'm just asking.
Right,
so
now I get it.
When I punch one, I know what to say.
Here's my thought process. Here's what makes this so bad, right? So we've been doing this podcast for over a year now. And we've been fighting to get, listeners and to get some backing behind it, to kind of get some capital up. You realize that this guy founded the whole Vice media collective? Now, he's been ousted from Vice since they found out he was a complete and total racist. But he founded Vice. His mediocre, ignorant ass was somehow able to found a very successful alternative media outlet. Now, we're some intelligent folks here. Why aren't we getting the same level of support as this mediocre guy? We know why. But here's what Mr. McInnes is missing. When people are doing hate crimes against homosexuality, they're using their hatred of who these people are to justify beating them up, brutalizing, and killing them. People are beating up Nazis because they don't like the fact that you may possibly hate someone enough to kill them. They are doing a service. Beating up a Nazi who believes in fascism, racism, and killing people who are not white and believe in a certain nationalist ideology is doing a service to society. I firmly believe that. I believe that we should take a piece from Germany and outlaw Nazism, and anything that resembles it, we should squash it firmly and make sure those people know that they're not welcome here whatsoever. I don't think, like, my thing is, those people, that's a murderous group of people. They have a history of killing folks. People try to equate the Black Panthers to the KKK. The body counts themselves alone are not even close. If you take the ideology of Black nationalism, Pan-Africanism, and just being pro-Black and asking to be left the fuck alone, and you compare it to that of white nationalism, white supremacy, hatred, and racism, and then you compare the body counts, they're not even close. If Black people were half as violent as these white nationalists, these accidental racists, reluctant racists, and reasonable racists wanted you to believe that Black people were, they should be glad we're asking for equality, justice, and to be left alone and not revenge. If Black people and Muslims were half as violent as they wanted you to believe we were, this country would be burning to the fucking ground. And I don't think I'm saying anything that's unreasonable here, because we're always painted as violent. Let's take what's going on in my hometown, for example. When EJ was killed on Black Friday in the Galleria, there's a young man, Carlos Chavez Jr., who I've been very critical of before. I make no, excuses for that. I still think my criticisms are valid. And my thing is, I do have criticisms of what's going on right now. Will I say them out loud? Hell no. Because I refuse to be used against people who are fighting for my same interests, for fighting for my same goals. Now, Carlos Chavez is not always the most eloquent person that you will find. He's not whatsoever. They've been doing consistent protests in the city of Hoover, where EJ got killed. And certain business owners have literally made up instances of vandalism, saying that protesters are vandalizing their property. The shit never happened. Certain people are going on social media and saying these protesters are violent. The shit never happened. Certain protesters are saying that they're doing things in the wrong way, and being violent and wrong. That shit never happened. But the thing is, when people like the Proud Boys and this guy Gavin McInnes quite literally go out there in New York and beat up folks after a conservative rally, and they get a slap on the wrist, oh, boys will be boys, right? Black people say, hey, we want justice and transparency. You're violent. This is America.
Right. So just to dissect this, when we talk about these types of issues, the one thing that I immediately go to is, as a means of comparison, is the Black Panther Party. Black Panther Party, despite what some white people want you to believe, was not a group of white-hating miscreants who wanted to go shoot up, every white person that they saw. That's just not who they were. They were about protecting Black communities, protecting Black children, being of service to those communities, and lifting those communities up, because they weren't getting the support from the white, the Caucasian system that had been set up to the police and government and basically all the different venues to support that were there to support, supposed to be supporting them. So when we talk about these types of things, it's the Black Panthers, they hated white people and they wanted to kill all. I'm like, no. And what they're trying to do here is they're trying to, gaslight and use this false equivalence and try to do all these verbal gymnastics to justify the reasons, why they want to, to do the things that they want to do. The same argument could be made for, why white people can't say the word nigger.
Don't say it, by the way.
Just don't say it. Like, you can have every other privilege in the world.
We'll let y'all say nigga when white supremacy and white privilege goes away. How about
that? Right. My thing is, like, there's no reason for you to say it. And if you really want to say it, I would question why is it that you just want to say it, because knowing the fact that it's such a charged phrase. So I'm at the point now where we need to stop giving time and cover to these racists and white nationalists and whatever else you want to call them to espouse their garbage, because it's not worth our time and it's not worth our effort to discuss.
But yeah, I'm with that. I'm completely with that. Like I have nothing to disagree with on that. All right. Well.
Sorry, I didn't mean to just shut the show down.
No, you broke it. I mean, you broke it down so it can forever and eternally be broke.
Yeah, I can't anymore. I have no more. I can't give any more effort to that.
Effort and energy to it. I mean, it's just, and it does take a lot. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. It takes a whole lot to deal with.
And I'm done. And the thing is, like, again, we always talk about, oh, we need to come together, and I'm like, no, I'm not there yet. I'm not there. I'm not at the come together stage. You have no vested interest in me coming together with you, so I'm gonna stay over here with my tribe. You stay with your tribe, and we'll fit, and we'll just live our separate existences.
I spoke a little bit earlier about E.J. Bradford just a little while ago. An attorney, a local attorney in Birmingham, he posted this on Facebook on December 6th, and I don't think anybody's come through with the proof. He said the district attorney, they just recently elected a black district attorney for Jefferson County, Danny Carr, said DA Danny Carr informed the press and public this afternoon that the lawyers for E.J. Bradford saw the video last Thursday and gave access to any of his family members to see it as well. Last Thursday. Unfortunately for my followers, I was in a position where I could not reveal that I was aware of them viewing it. So what are we yelling about seeing and releasing the video when the ones who are relevant actually did view it and had access to it 7 days ago? And most importantly, never mentioned it to let people know to chill. Now, got a thought for you guys. I want to talk about this for just a little bit. Let's say somebody here in this city is the victim of a police-involved shooting, an officer-involved shooting. And it's under suspicious circumstances. And we're all outraged, of course. We're absolutely outraged. The family sees the video. They're outraged at first. The family sees the video and then goes silent. Do we protest? Do we continue protesting? Or do we follow the family's lead and say, maybe we should wait? Maybe we should wait for everything to come out. Emotionally, I know I would do one thing. Ideally, intelligently, I would do another. What do you guys think? I know that's a tough one.
So we did have an instance like this not too long ago in Charlotte.
Keith Scott.
And just to kind of provide a refresher, this was a gentleman who was waiting. I think it was waiting on his son or his child to come home from the bus stop. Police rolled up on him. Apparently, I think they said he had a amount of weed in his car or whatever. For whatever reason,
why is it whenever they come up on why is it when they come up on our car?
How did you even know that before you even the situation escalated? You didn't know
right.
that before it escalated.
Right. Either way, like they roll up on him. Situation escalates. They end up shooting him. And then there were no charges brought against the I don't think there were charges brought against the officers.
I don't think there was either. If I recall.
So that's basically this situation. It was the same exact thing. My inclination is that, we've just seen this too much to continue to let it happen. So we need to speak out against it. But then again, to your point, if the family is hesitant in making a movement, I don't necessarily know if that changes my thought. I think we still need to speak out against it. If the video is available, the public needs to see it, or at least it needs to be made available so that people know what the circumstances are. We need to stop having this justice under cloak and dagger, and put it out there in the public. Let people see what happened. Like if there's video, let the public see and then decide. And who knows? It might just show that, hey, there were circumstances that resulted in
action for the action.
Right, that the actions may have been appropriate, but we keep going back to well, we can't release it, we're not going to release it, we're just going to make a determination, and then the officers go scot-free, and I can't fathom why you wouldn't, which says to me that something's not right in the state of Denmark.
Right.
That's Shakespeare for some of y'all. It's suspicious to say the very least, and downright criminal is what I would say, to say the most. If the video exists, put it out there so people can make a determination and figure out where do we go from here.
But it just says if you don't want to show it, like you said, then we're probably right in the protesting part.
Now, the autopsy for EJ Bradford showed that he got shot in the back 3 times. Back of the neck, back of the side, and I think it was back of the head. So, clearly he was running away. Now, what I've been told, and I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want to add any more speculation to what's already going on as far as this whole thing is concerned. What I've been told is that the shooting itself may not have been justified, but it may be understandable. Okay? And here's why I say that. Okay, this is my thought process. I'm not saying the officer was wrong. I think ragged ass Betty Jo Shelby needs to be in jail for shooting Terrence Crutcher in the back. First of all, the way the way I was raised is that you don't shoot a man in the back. Period. I mean, that's just something that if you're gonna shoot somebody, shoot him in the face.
Which is why I'm waiting on you to tell me how it's understandable to shoot him 3 times.
So this is what I was told. All right. Mm-hmm. So it's Black Friday. Mm-hmm. There's an altercation. Mm-hmm. An altercation where shots are fired. Mm-hmm. People are panicking. The crowd is running. People are moving. People are moving fast. Everybody's running in all these opposite directions. It's literally chaos. Your job at that point is to locate, assess, and neutralize whatever threat there may be in the midst and in the aftermath of an altercation in a crowded mall on Black Friday, and you don't really know the full story at that point. Now, ideally, I'm going to say, don't shoot him in the back. Period. You see somebody running away with a gun, chase them. Don't shoot them. Chase them. Stop them. Don't shoot them. And then this person who is in law enforcement said, yeah, that's easy for you to say after the fact. In that moment, you don't know whether he's chasing somebody to kill them that doesn't have a gun. In that moment, you don't know whether he's about to shoot somebody else.
Correct.
You don't know who has what. You don't know what's going on. Your hands are sweaty. Your palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. You Eminem at this point, getting ready to go on stage. You don't know what's going on at this point. And so you fire hoping that you're making the right decision in killing somebody who may have been a bad person. And it's 50-50. So that's why this person in law enforcement said, while it may not be justified, it may be understandable, which is that sliver right there that they call reasonable doubt. What's up?
Well, first, you, as an officer, I understand you might be trying to eliminate the problem, but you said in a crowded mall where those shots could literally
hit anybody.
If that person is in the line of sight with this weapon, by the time you fire, someone else running away could have easily come in between that, and you could have killed an innocent person. 2, why, if what you're trying to do is stop the person, why do you have law enforcement, Leos? Why do you have to shoot to kill? Why can't you shoot to de-escalate?
Okay, so here's the thing, and this is something I posted on Facebook. There's no such thing as a shoot to wound. There's no such thing as shooting to wound.
I disagree.
Here's why I say there's no such thing as shooting to wound. All right? Your hand, just like you said that in a split second somebody can move by, if I'm aiming for an arm or a leg, I have the possibility of missing that small space and shooting something that I'm not meaning to shoot at. If I'm aiming for center mass, I have a lot better chance of neutralizing that threat. I'm not shooting somebody to incapacitating them. The moment you fire a firearm at somebody, you need to be ready to destroy whatever that round hits. That's just the bottom line.
I can't necessarily
you can't
completely agree with you on that. I
Here,
disagree.
let me ask you a question. If I have a firearm and I'm coming at you,
if you're coming at me and we're in a situation, there's a difference.
Hold on.
That's a difference.
If
you're
wait,
wait. With the weapon.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
If I have a firearm and I'm coming at you, where are you going to try to shoot me?
Again.
No. Answer that question. Answer that question. I got a follow-up question.
Okay. 9 times out of 10 is center mass.
Okay. If I'm running from you, where are you going to try to shoot me?
If you're depends on the situation.
Okay, so where do you think you're going to shoot me?
It depends on the situation.
Okay, what are your options then? Do you think you can hit my leg if I'm running?
I have to hit your leg. Stand up.
I'm not finna stand up. Just tell me.
Just stand up.
Just
let me show you something.
Tell me.
Just let me show you something.
But boss lady, just tell me.
Just stand up for a second.
Okay,
This is an audio medium.
Yeah, I know. It's like they can't see what we're
We don't have video yet. Y'all stay tuned.
So turn around. If you're running away, it's very easy for me to shoot here to stop you.
She's pointing at his
It's just
chest
as easy for me
or
to
in his
shoot
back.
Okay.
here. Okay? This is de-escalate.
Which is still center mass.
This is kill.
Which is still center
De-escalate,
mass.
kill.
But the thing is, look at it though. That's still center mass. Which is why I say there's a shot. It's still a shot to kill. Because think about it. You shoot me in my lower back. You have the risk of hitting my spine.
Exactly.
You have the risk of hitting my liver, my kidneys.
This is true.
A stomach shot. If it goes through and through.
But
There's more mass there for this to stop the round, true enough. But it's still center mass. You're still shooting to kill. That's what I'm telling you. When people say shoot to wound, a lot of times they talk about shooting somebody in the arm or the leg or the shoulder. If you aim for my shoulder, you can miss me completely and hit somebody who you didn't even shoot at.
This is true. Again, more than anything, it's the running away part for me in a crowded situation.
Yeah, and I have an issue with that too, which is why I say
3 times.
Which is why they said it's unjustified.
3 times.
But the guy said it was understandable.
3 times.
And I get it. I'm not making an excuse for the officer. I want to prepare anybody that's listening to this podcast that's
Any
what they're
of
going to
those
use
shots.
for that sliver of reasonable doubt that'll get him off.
Any of those shots one time would have dropped him. You said back of the head, the side, and where?
Oh, okay. So here's my logic. This is my logic. The back of the head shot was lucky.
Right.
I like to think that's the third shot, and that was lucky. I think it was like the back on the side, like on the lower right hand side. I want to say one like went to his neck, or like his upper body, like maybe upper shoulder, something like that. Matter of fact, I don't want to speculate. Let me look it up. Let me be specific. So I'm looking up EJ Bradford.
Those had to come in rapid succession because
Right.
any of those shots were enough to drop him.
But
Hold on, I'm looking. All right, so he was shot 3 times from behind. 3 times from behind.
Again, my thing is in a crowded, like you're gonna shoot that.
They said the head, neck, and lower back. So here's what I'm thinking. All right. So he was aiming for center mass. That first shot, I like to think, went lower back. That's where he got shot in the lower back, which you said would have dropped him. But the thing is, boom, 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 split second. Those 2 follow-up shots, he probably had bad trigger discipline. It's a 9mm.
And caught him as he was going down.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't think that. Here's why I say that. Catching him in the head, I think he was still standing. Here's why I say that. Those 3 rounds came in very rapid succession. I think that he had bad trigger discipline. That 9mm probably had some snap to it, so he got some muzzle flip. So that first round hit the lower back, and when he fired those other 2 before it actually reset. So I'm thinking as his hand was coming back down to reset, he fired again, and it wasn't quite down, and that's where you got the one in the neck, and as it was coming down again, he squeezed again, and that's what caught him in the head. That's what I think those 2 high shots came from, those 2 follow-up shots. That's just from me understanding that everybody doesn't have good trigger discipline, and follow-up shots are very hard to get low.
Even more of a reason why you should not be shooting in a
And I agree with you.
crowded.
I wholeheartedly agree. I'm 110% with you. I just want to prepare people for the thought process behind reasonable doubt. And that reasonable doubt is we can't expect officers. This is what
You can expect the officer not to fire in a crowded situation.
This is what they've said. This is what they said about what's that bastard's name that killed Mike Brown. They said we can't entrust officers to be here and expect them to save our lives and then second guess them when they get in a situation where they have to take a life.
That's the job. Yes.
Here's my logic too, and I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna dead it. I feel like if you had more education requirements and had higher pay, you would attract better talent for police officers. That's not an insult to police officers. What I'm saying is that there have been situations where there's been a police department that was sued for not hiring an officer because he was allegedly too smart. His test scores were too high, and that's why they didn't want him.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
This is America.
This is America. Well, that's gonna do it for us. I'm gonna save everything else until Sunday, because we got a really interesting story about a 75-year-old man running a prostitution ring out of his nursing home.
Hey.
Oh, hey.
But I want to save that until Sunday because I want to have a good time with that one. Before we get out of here though, Boss Lady, what you got to say to the people?
Tune in next time.
Oh Lord. I don't know why that made me nervous. Like that sounded like that was so ominous. Like that was the sound. Like that was the phrase that you hear at the end of those old Batmans with Adam West. Tune in next time. Will knowledge maintain his reign as the king of R&B? Will B-Wood let somebody's smooth taste fool him?
Oh.
I tried to warn him.
I'm just saying that sounded very ominous. So you coming back Sunday?
90% sure I can make it.
Oh Lord, you must have a date.
A what?
I guess not. All right.
I have one of those tomorrow.
Oh, you got a date tomorrow. Where y'all going?
None yet.
You going to Mr. Child's? You going to Chima's? Can you bring me back some bacon wrap steak? I just want some bacon wrap steak. If y'all go to Chima's, If y'all go to Chima's, I don't want some bacon wrap steak. I went to Chima's with my work.
You want me to take a Ziploc bag in the Chima's?
Hell yes.
It's all you can eat.
I took
inside the restaurant.
My team went to Chima's for a team dinner.
I love that
and
place.
I had the meat sweats.
Man, listen, I waddle when I come out.
I came out of Chima's and my chest was tight.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like I felt like my whole left side. Like
but I tell the man, listen, let me give you a list of what I want. You ain't got to come to my table the whole time. My side of the table. That's all I need. This, and this. That's all I need all night.
That bacon wrap steak, though.
For those of you that don't know, Chima is a Brazilian steakhouse. If you haven't been to a Brazilian steakhouse, I highly recommend that you go.
And make sure they got bacon wrap steak.
Hungry though, go hungry.
They just come around with meat on skewers and just slice you off.
Once I finish
all night long.
And it's the best salad bar ever.
Don't eat the salad bar.
So
that's the.
So for the first
that's how
30
they get
days,
you.
So for the first 30 days,
I'm a pro at this. I
okay,
got this.
all right.
So for the first 30 days of 2019, I'm doing a sun up to sundown fast. February 1st, I'm going to Chima's, and I'm getting the meat sweats. Anyway, B-Wood. What do you got to say on the way out of here?
Just as always, protect your tribe. Big shout out to my homegirl. I know I said I want to smoke with the white women earlier, but big shout out to Nancy Pelosi. We're gonna talk about that Sunday. We're gonna talk about that Sunday. But yeah, just protect your tribe, and I'll holler at you.
And for Miss EP, I'm gonna tell all y'all to protect your peace.
Hey boo.
Tell y'all to protect your peace. She just texted me and said she needs some tissues. So I'm going to stop by. I'm going to take some tissues by the house after we leave here. And also want to say happy birthday to Angelique Merle. She lives in Philadelphia. That's my homie. We go way back, like spinal cords and car seats. So happy birthday to her. I think she like 78 now. I don't know. She might be younger than that. Maybe like
confirmed.
Maybe like 34. I don't know how old she is. But yeah, she's somewhere between 78 and 34. But yeah, so happy birthday to her. You had one more thing you want to say? Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna get out of here and just remember that I am the king of R&B. Oh, and one more thing. May the Lord watch between me and thee, and may your days be filled with the confidence of Jacquees. All right, y'all have a good day. Peace.
Bye-bye.